I am doing a sporadic live from a hotel room because I'm going on a bus journey to a place called Villa Hermosa, and it's going to be 10 hours. So I've got some time to kill. So I thought I'd jump on my mobile and just see who's around, have a little chat, see what's going on. But oh, we've got some people on here now. It was showing 0 people. It's really weird. I got like 25,000 subs or something and just get like a few people show up. I don't normally do these things on my phone. I normally set up the laptop and it all looks quite professional. But yeah, so don't forget to hit the like, comment, all of that stuff. And yeah, if you've got any questions, please ask. I'm probably not going to stay on for too long because my bus journey is, well, it's at 11 p.m. It's 9:30 now. And yeah, I just thought, like I've said before, these lives are very therapeutic for me. And I think they're very therapeutic for you guys as well, because it's just been so crazy out there right now, especially with things going on in the UK, and even here in Mexico. It's really weird. What's being rolled out in the UK is being rolled out here. The digital ID they're doing here. And they are also, in the UK, there was articles about the NHS app going, it's all going to be digital, online. That's the health service, quote unquote, if you could call it that. Guys, we've got 21 on here, 3 likes. Just if you could help me out a little bit, that would really be great. So yeah, the UK is the NHS is the UK health service. So everything's going to be online. And same here in Mexico. I see the same article, obviously in Spanish. Their health service is all going online as well. It's like, what the WTF? Is like, they're really sprinting for the finishing line, aren't they? It's just crazy times, isn't it? And yeah, so it's what can you say about it? I mean, I know most people get it on my YouTube channel, so I don't really need to go in a big rant. Someone took their like away. Whoever pressed like and liked it again, it registered, but then it came off again. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so I don't need to go in a big rant, because I think the people that I have here on my YouTube channel, I think pretty much most people get it. But obviously I get new subscribers all the time. People find my work, so I do repeat stuff as well. But what I'm seeing out there, particularly in the UK, is just still people are obsessed with looking for saviors, leaders, political parties, groups, all these organized marches that they're all organized by the governments. There's a digital ID march that was organized before the announcement was made, by the same people. The same speakers turn up, and they get people marching on these ley lines, these energetic points. The City of London is on a right smack bang on a very important energetic portal. It's why the financial system's built there. And of course it just harvests all the loosh, and it's a form of begging as well. same as petitions. It's like, please, sir, stop doing this. Protests, please, sir, still stop doing this. And there's actually, I can't pronounce it, but I was reading somewhere that the Latin version of petition is, don't quote me on this, petio or something like that, and it literally means begging. And think about the energy behind that, because when you're putting that out there in the field, that energy of begging, that has kind of like an energetic frequency. It carries an energetic frequency, which is slavery. Whereas if it's mass non-compliance and you just stand in your power and you say no, that has a completely different frequency. It has a frequency of sovereignty. And this is the problem that I'm seeing out there, is that there's a lot of people that are awake to, okay, they want to digitally enslave us. They want to do what they want to. They want to do what they're going to do with all of that stuff. But there's still people that are waiting for politicians to go back in and debate, and all this stuff, all just still looking for leaders and saviors and all of this stuff. So what I've been saying on my other socials, on my Facebook and my TikTok, is that we need an involution, which obviously is an internal revolution, not an external revolution, because the external is basically what is going on internally with the masses, because we are we're a slave race, or we're trapped here or whatever, prisoners, and that's probably been going on for thousands of years. We haven't. You have to go deep internally to come out of that. It can take weeks, months to internally process the fact that you're a slave, and then move up into your sovereign energy, let's call it that. And there's only a few, there's different levels of awakening, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm perfect, and I've probably still got things to learn and things that I've missed and all that kind of stuff. But one thing that I do know, and one thing that I have spent time figuring out, is my internal sovereign being, and expressing that out into the world. But the problem is the masses, even though they're kind of like half awake, is that they're still expressing that internal slavery, which then expresses itself as looking for a savior, looking for a leader, looking at groups and all of this kind of stuff. And so that's what's going on right now, is that we're at this like fork in the road. And you know what it's like, these psychopaths, they're happy to provide all of these leaders and political parties. And I mean, we see it in the new cage movement, don't we? We have guides, we have angels, we have God, we have Jesus, we have all of this stuff. And it's a road to nowhere, isn't it? It's a cul-de-sac. I speak about it all the time on this channel. And it's the same thing that's going on in the physical as well. We need to move out of that mental schism, I would call it, into our sovereign energy, let's say. So that's what I'm seeing going on out there, and it's a bit disturbing. But that's the work that we got to do, and the more of us that do that, the better chance that we've got of bringing this down. So I'm going to go to the questions, but that's basically what I've been talking about this week on my other platforms. But like I say, the people here on my YouTube, you're all pretty clued up, and I love this community because don't get me wrong, I want to help everyone. Like I have like a lot of humanity is kind of annoying. There's so much noise here outside this apartment, and you're like, ah. But on another level, I just want everyone to make it. You know what I mean? I want to make it. I want to be left alone, and I want everyone else to make it, and I want them to be left alone as well. And I forgot where I was going completely with that point. It's completely left my mind. Anyway, hopefully it will come back to me. But I'm just scrolling through some of the questions right now. Yeah, so we got 74 people on, 22 likes. Oh yeah, that was what I was saying. I was saying that I like this community because, even though like working with people, working with clients and stuff, I get to speak to people. It's not like I'm alone with my thoughts because I'm always speaking to so many people. Yeah, yeah, Australia, you caught me live. I don't normally do these late ones. So, g'day, mate, and all that stuff. Um, but like this community, as most of you guys, if you found yourself here, if you've been here a while, you've taken that internal journey. And you've realized your own sovereignty. You've pretty much, most of you, given up all the leaders and the saviors and the false light beings and all of that kind of stuff. So we're all kind of on a level, and I think it's therapeutic for both you guys and for me to do these. Maybe I should do them more as things get more crazier out there in the physical. I might try and jump on here more often. It's quite handy just turning on my phone and doing this. But maybe I'll need my Brit card to log on to the internet soon. So I may not be able to get on for much longer. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going on with that? I don't know if I'll need the Brit card or the Mex card. I don't know what one. My YouTube's it was set up in the UK, but I'm here in Mexico, so who knows what will happen for that. But I was thinking earlier, like since all this tech has come in, social media and everything like that, is anyone actually any happier? Like, you got social media where most people are just fake, and there's people trying to impress other people they don't even know. People are scrolling all day. No one talks to each other anymore. And, you go to a cafe and you have to listen to someone's business meeting out loud on their speakerphone. It's like, I was talking the other day about like the 80s. I'm going to get nostalgic again. You guys know I love the 80s. And probably because I was a kid, right? When you're a kid, you got less things to worry about, don't you? Even though I didn't feel comfortable. I've never felt comfortable here, ever. I used to have really bad like stomach issues when I was a kid. And I think it was nerves. When I look at it now, I think it was nerves. I think because when we're kids, we're even more sensitive, aren't we? And I think I was just like, whoa, what is this place? And it was expressing itself in my stomach. But, when you look at those days, like the music was better, like, we had some great 80s bands like Tears for Fears and like George Michael, and now it's all this like satanic music. Like the music was better, like the sun was always out. Even in the UK, the sun was always out, and you might see the odd contrail. You'd never see what we see today with blanket skies and all of that stuff. And we were out all day in the park, and we were mischief makers as well. We in the UK, we had a game called Knock Down Ginger. I don't know if you guys have it in the States or Australia, where as kids you're like, go and knock on random people's houses and then just run off and watch their reaction. And we used to go out at Christmas singing carols when we weren't supposed to, and I don't know, it just like I say, probably because I was a kid. We used to fall in the pond and come back smelling of duckweed. I remember I came back once and my dad had to hose me down with the garden hose because I'd fallen in the pond and I'd smelt of duckweed. But I don't know, life just seemed simpler then. Even my parents, like they were adults, they just seemed happy. I remember, my dad used to walk around the house singing, and we didn't have all this stuff that we have now. And just I think if we're honest with ourselves, like I don't think anyone's happier for it. I mean, it's great things like that, like this, don't get me wrong. Like I can speak to I can speak to all you guys in different parts of the world, so there are some good things. But when you take the totality of it all, you have to say it's probably not been the best thing. And of course, the smartphones is that was the Eve's apple, wasn't it? So I think that's going to be the ultimate thing that it might have to come to, guys. I think at the end of the day, if they're going to carry forward with this, we might have to chuck the smartphones away and be done with it. It might have to come to that. I mean, it's not a big loss. Well, it's not a big loss because I can do things on my laptop and stuff, but rather that than all this stuff that they want to do with the facial recognition and all of this stuff. They're really going for it. I mean, it's they're in a rush. I mean, like I said on a few weeks ago, I think that if they don't get this, then it's game over for them. So more and more people are waking up to different degrees, but it's kind of like a race for the finishing line, and we can't lose this. Like I was thinking earlier, like this is a battle we cannot lose. Like we literally we cannot lose it. I mean, we talk about soul trap and all of that stuff, and yeah, I don't want to come back here. No one wants to come back here, and we got to figure out how to get out and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, while we're here, there's a battle raging that's going to affect our children and grandchildren. I don't have children, my niece, my nephew, and all that. And if we don't win it, then they've got to live in this. I mean, you're talking of a hell realm. It's like it would be worse than hell for them. So that's where we're at. So the Chinese say, don't they, may you live in interesting times. The irony in that. Guys, we've got 86 people in here, 31 likes. If you wouldn't mind just helping me out, that would be great. I've got a long coach journey ahead. I've got a 10-hour coach journey to Villahermosa. And I don't know what it's like there. I've never been there. I'm on my way over to the Pacific side of Mexico. I'm going to go to Oaxaca. I spoke about Oaxaca before. That's a really it's like going back in time. It's like so traditional. The women wear traditional Mexican clothes. Just if you went there, you would think you're in the in like the 1950s. It's so cute, honestly. And let's have a look at the questions. Tears for Fears was great. Yeah, I love listening to Shout. That's a real, if you look at the words, that's a real kind of revolutionary song. It's like, in violent times, you shouldn't have to sell your soul. As you can see, guys, I clearly cannot sing. But and what's the other one? Everybody wants to rule the world. Yeah, someone said it in the comments. Earth is a spiritual prison, absolutely. Yeah, I think we're in a battle to it either stays that way or there's some kind of liberation that happens. Here's hoping anyway. Weird thing that I saw when I was little in the 80s, I was told by my parents they had a blue orb in the middle of in the middle of the chest, but not ever everyone had it. I don't know. They had a blue orb or you had a blue orb? Not sure what you mean there. Here in the States, it's called doorbell ditch. Doorbell ditch, yeah. Not knockdown ginger is called doorbell ditch. Used to do it all my time with friends. Yeah, it used to be really funny, especially if you got someone angry. Like they would just like, "Who's that? Who's that?" You know, because you know us Brits, we can be a bit moody, can't we? Yeah. The other thing we used to do is like I say, we used to be out all day in parks and stuff. We used to build bases. We used to call them bases, and we used to like hide in the shrubs and just like make these secret places where where no one could find us. It was brilliant. New Age. What's this? The referee in debate asked Mike Martin, how much damage are you doing to the people who believe you, but doesn't ask the same question to New Ager, who says his guides are benevolent. Who's saying that? Sorry, I'm only seeing a bit of the question here. I'm on my mobile, so I think I'm missing bits there. But I mean, we know guides. We know that we know that they're not very guides unless you want a car parking space. And apparently, they're very good at finding car parking spaces. So it's good to make this lifetime as fun and adventurous as possible before we exit for good. Who's with me? Yes, yes. I definitely think that, you know, every time you smile, a reptilian goes hungry. But they certainly make it challenging, don't they, for us to do that? But yeah, absolutely, we have to find the things to laugh at. And I mean, what's the funny thing with the digital ID? What they're saying is, in the UK, they're saying it's not something you're going to have to take out physically with you, but it's going to be on your mobile. It's like, hang on a minute, don't most people don't most people take their mobiles with them? It's like the way they try and spin these things. It's just. But the good thing, what I will say is there's a huge pushback. I mean, like, I've been on the newspaper articles, looking at comments, and I could count on one hand the amount of people that have said that they're for it. I mean, it's nobody, like literally nobody wants it, which I'm a little bit worried about the resistance here in Mexico, I have to say, because I've been on a few posts there and I've said a few things, and you know, people are like, oh no, but we need this and it's going to make things easier. And in the UK, there is a big resistance. There is a big resistance. Here, they're not being so forceful with it all as they have in the UK. But they are slipping it all in. But it worries me here because, you know, I love Mexican people. I love Latin people. You know, I've got a Latin heart, a Latin soul in many ways. But the people here are very kind of laid back, you could say. And they just, you know, they just don't like. In a way, it's good because they focus on like enjoying life, right, rather than serious things and work and all of that stuff. But on the other hand, it's a problem because that is the main thing that they focus on. They're gonna miss the important things that they're trying to bring in here, and so I do worry here. But we have the cartels, and which means that the government doesn't always get its own way here, because they will be stepping on the toes of the cartels. So when Convid was here, we had a very short lockdown because the cartels said, look, we're not making any money here because you're not letting tourists in. Open the borders, let everyone in. We don't want any rules or regulations. You don't need a jab, you don't need a test, and just reverse this now. And they literally opened the borders. This is why everyone came here, because the cartels were losing money, basically. So, obviously there's a very bad side to the cartels, but also there's that side where the governments don't get everything that they want. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out if they, decide to go cashless or digital, how that would work with the cartels. So in a way, they provide an element of protection to the people. But obviously, the people come unstuck if they join the cartels, and then they're fighting each other, and they're selling drugs and all of that stuff. That's when it's not beneficial. So so yeah, I have concerns over Mexico. I'm not sure what it's like in other Latin countries. I haven't been to Colombia for a while, but when I was there before, they were pretty much going with everything. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'd love to visit Mexico soon. Yeah, so much history. It's incredible. I mean, the food is incredible. The people they're just lovely. They are loud. Very loud. But they're the kindest people that I've met around the world, and I've been around a bit. I was thinking it would be cool maybe one day maybe to have like some kind of, I don't know, week event or something here. I don't know what you guys would think about that. I've thought about it before. I've got reservations about it as well, because you don't know if it would get infiltrated, and that kind of thing. So, but it would be cool if we could all meet up in person. Yeah, if maybe in Oaxaca or Puerto Escondido. Maybe I'll look into that more, but sometimes when you get groups together, if you get if you get a few unhinged people, because there's always a few unhinged people that are riddled with entity attachments, and they've got demons working through them, and then they turn up and they'll cause a scene, and then the event gets spoiled. And like, I've seen these things happen before. I've heard so many stories of communities where a community has got together, and like one or two people or a group of people have just spoiled or wrecked the whole thing. Because don't forget, infiltrators don't have to be physical. They can be entities that are working through people. You get someone that likes a drink turn up, and they they have a few tequilas and mezcals, and then and then you may have a problem, and then there's an argument, and then everyone's talking about the argument, and like that's why I've been a little bit like reluctant of actually like maybe doing something in person. Because I mean, I've got some good friends actually that live in Oaxaca, and when they were in Playa with me, they were like, oh, we're going to buy some land and start a community. I said be careful with that, because I've seen how these communities can end up sometimes. Anyway, they went off, bought a plot of land, opened it up to truthers, ended in disaster. Some woman showed up completely unhinged, caused all kind of scenes with my friend, the lady of the husband who bought the land. Ended up going back to the UK, reporting them to the Daily Mail, and they got an article written about them in the day, made up a pack of lies about them. And that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about. It's just like you don't know who's going to turn up. Like 99.9% of you are going to be fine, right? But you get one or two and they can spoil the whole thing. And then I'm stressed, everyone's stressed, there's a big drama. It's like I can see it happening. Yeah, the current Mexican president is Jewish, yes, and that is why that is why the digital stuff is being rolled out. Yeah, I can't see the cartels swiping either. That's what I'm hoping. What do you think about digital? Okay, so I've got a couple of theories about the whole digital ID thing, because I think it's a double psyop. Of course, they want to bring it in. That's for sure. Let's talk about the UK for a second. So they knew there'd be a huge kickback, right? So everyone was up in arms when it was announced, including myself. And, quite rightly, we were saying, no, resist. But as time went on, I started to see all the controlled opposition, all the shills, also seemingly on our team, quote unquote, being really like anti-digital ID. Like, so we had political parties, we had Jeremy Corbyn, we had Tommy Robinson, the guy that's there to start all the riots, which is another thing that they want, and they can bring in the army and martial law and everything. They want everyone hyped up on the streets. Now I saw today Russell Brand, like really anti-digital ID, and I'm thinking, whoa, hang on a minute, what is going on here? And I think it's a double psyop. I think, yes, of course they want it, but I think what is going to happen, the Reform Party, sorry for any of you guys that are not British, which is probably most of you, because in the UK it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. But he is like the main, he's like the main opposition, and all these controlled opposition are really anti, and I'm like, this is not right, because the way controlled opposition works is it's like 90% truth, and then there's the rug pull, or the dump in the punch bowl at the pivotal moment, where they normally, and I've been doing this a while now, they normally either go quiet or they will then back the new agenda. But what they have done is they have continued to rally with the people at this pivotal point. So that told me, okay, there's more to this than meets the eye. Turns out that the Reform Party wants to take away the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which, if that goes, then literally the WHO can come in and they can run carte blanche on everyone. And they can't get what they want with that declaration still in place. So another clever guy on Facebook, I can't claim to actually have had that thought myself first. I watched, I did get the red flags. I did think, why are all these controlled opposition on our team? That did come from me. But then I watched this video where this guy said about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and how the Reform Party want to take that away under the guise of immigration. And so then we join the dots, and you have Starmer, who is playing the fool guy, and everyone's aiming their hate at him, just like they always have a fool guy, don't they? And then the next one comes in, takes all the heat, and he gets replaced, or she gets replaced, and then another one comes in and takes all the heat. And so he's the one taking the heat, and I think that he's going to get kicked out and then the Reform Party's going to come in, and then they're going to take away the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and that's when everything is going to come in, the digital, and that's when we really don't have a leg to stand on. So they do want all of this, but I think it's a double psyop. So people are going more psycho in general, yeah. What would be good? A meeting place in Australia. Yeah. God, it's been a while since I've been to Australia. Yeah, Agenda 2030. So I'm just scrolling through your questions there. I've been to Australia before, and when I was 21, when I was backpacking. I don't have any plans to go. I don't really like traveling far these days. I don't really like airports and planes, to be honest with you. And obviously Australia is like it's the other side of the world for me. Isabella Green says that unless we master astral projection, we will reincarnate forever. And just saying no when you pass over will not be enough. I don't know about her. I've said before that she channels and she wants to work with serpent energy, kundalini energy. I don't know. I don't. No, I don't feel resonance with her. Some YouTuber who travels around the world went to Afghan, and someone from the WHO immediately gives the YouTuber an oral jab without consent. Wow. Won't be going to Afghanistan then. Have you heard of Benedictine the Truth? I have, yeah. He's the guy. Is he in Africa? I've seen, yeah, he basically says that this is a hell realm, doesn't he? So I don't know if he's gone as far as Soul Trap though. Yeah, no topic, just a random chat before I go on a 10-hour coach journey, which is going to be interesting. You can bet your life I'm going to sit next to someone who is scrolling through TikTok. So I'm just trying to get through your questions here. What time is it? It's 10 past 10. Must be early in... No, Australia's like, what, 1 p.m. right now? You just can't keep up with it, can you? I mean, back in the day when I first woke up, it was like maybe you'd have a psyop every 6 months. And now it's every single... Not even every single day, it's every hour. Did you hear Cryon predicting the Pleiadians are coming to save us? Or they're coming in November. Coming from where? Like, there's no space. We're under a dome. Where are they coming from? Are they, like, coming from under the ground or something? I hear that Cryons a lot. A lot of people ask me to review that person. I've not really... But if he's talking about Pleiadians coming, I mean... Yeah, it's just nonsense, isn't it? Pleiadians are an entity race. They're a false light entity race, along with the Andromedans and the Greys, and they're an interdimensional race that present themselves as benevolent but are malevolent, and they basically want to siphon off your energy, and they're part of the... Yeah, they're just part of all the deception, basically. They say they come from the ocean and there's portals. What is your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, portals exist, but I mean, again, it just goes back to what I was saying before. No one's coming to save us, right? Yeah, the Nordics, they're another entity race. All the gods, the goddesses, Hindu gods, Greek gods. I've seen, like, when I clear people, what's the Egyptian one I see a lot? What's his name? Thor? Yeah. They just masquerade. They masquerade as gods, goddesses, aliens. I mean, I've cleared entities that have masqueraded as sharks. I've spoken about this before. Yeah, Thoth, that's it. I was clearing a client, and I was like, oh, there's a shark. Obviously, I'm a scuba diver, right? I love sharks. They're my favorite. And then I was like, hang on a minute. It's not a shark, it's an entity. It got me for a second, like a millisecond. I was fooled, but then I quickly snapped out of it. It just goes back to people looking for a savior, you know. That's their version. They think the Pleiadians are coming. I mean, nobody is sorting this out for us. We have to sort it out ourselves. So anyone promoting, I mean, Trump, what is he going, like, he's on steroids now, and there's still people in the soul trap movement saying that Trump's here to save us still, even after what he did in the first in his first tenure. He is today I saw a video of him meeting with the president of Pfizer, where he was saying what a great bloke Tony Blair was. Tony Blair, the war criminal, whose son is financially going to benefit from the digital ID. And there's still millions of people, Operation Warp Speed. Millions of people still think Trump's going to sort things out. This is the dire condition that we're in still. Like, I look at you guys on this stream, there's 108 of you. Like, imagine there's 108 of us that have realized our sovereignty, let's put it like that, because I don't like speaking like we've got everything figured out, but we at least realize that we're sovereign, and the vast majority of us don't think that anyone's coming to save us. And then you've got millions of people that still think Trump is going to save us. It's just insane. It's just, that is the biggest problem that we face right now. It's the internal journey that people are too lazy to take. It's laziness more than anything, because if you think about it, you know, if you're sitting there and you're seeing all this going on, it's far more easier, and it feels much better to just think that someone else is going to do that for you, rather than you like make your own impact, you know. And that's what it boils down to. It boils down to laziness. I have a lot of respect for the people that come out of the New Age movement and eat my shit sandwiches, right? Because, and I've spoke to people, you know, clients that come to me, and they go through, some people, some of you even, maybe have gone, you know, you've gone from the New Age to finding out all of this stuff, and it takes months of grieving, licking your wounds, like processing, rethinking everything, giving things up, you know, especially people that have got, you know, working like are working like with New Age modalities, and then they give that up. So yeah, it's painful. It's like ripping a bandage off. But it's necessary. It's the necessary work that people have to do to realize that sovereignty within themselves. And the people that can't be bothered are lazy, and they will continue to think, you know what, all that sounds a bit hard. I'm just gonna, it's easier if I just believe that God's gonna sort things out, or Trump's gonna sort things out, or the Reform Party's gonna sort things out, or I'll just press this button on the petition. You know, yeah, they're watching football. Don't get me wrong, I watch football or soccer, wherever you're watching this from, but it doesn't consume my life. I realise it's bread and circuses, but it just takes my mind off things for a little while. And sometimes I go into the live streams of my team, West Ham, for anyone that's interested, and I will infiltrate the live streams because they're so het up about a refereeing decision, a goal that was disallowed, something along those lines, and I can't, and I type in there, I'm like, what about, why aren't you rolled up about digital ID? You are about this goal that was disallowed, this piece of pigskin that wasn't allowed in between two wooden posts. You're going to get upset. And some of these people, right, some of these mainly men, they're upset for days, weeks even. It ruins their week. Can you believe that? It ruins their week when their team loses. Like, hello, what about your life being ruined? And they just, can you imagine if we had all the football fans around the world, or sports fans around the world, just wake up overnight? Or not, it's not even a case of waking up. It's putting your attention on things that are more important than other things. And they choose not to. At the end of the day, they choose not to. At this point, it's not about being awake or not. It's pretty much out there that we are we are being bent over and getting our asses kicked, right? It's not hard to see now, right? So it's a conscious choice that people are making at this point to not put their attention where it needs to be put. I'm in the US, and it seems like most normies don't know about UK's digital ID. Excuse me, I've got a dry throat here. Yeah, but I think US, I think you guys are pretty consumed with what goes on in and around your borders, aren't you? But actually, someone told me, oh yeah, it was my best friend in Canada, told me that he can't even access news reports about what's going on in the UK. They're censoring them and blocking them. So maybe that's part of it as well. You're not even having access to those articles, basically. How do I end this stream? I'm not going to end it, but I'm doing it on my phone. I don't want to press the wrong button. I don't want to have spoke to you guys for nearly an hour. I'm so like technologically challenged. That's the chat button. That looks like the share button. Where's the stop button then? We'll find out. We'll find out if this appears on my channel or not in the next few days. Yeah, they're calling it real ID in America, aren't they? And will be ubiquitous by next year. Yeah. they're not going to stop. They're not. They're just. I mean, they're psychopaths, aren't they? They just, even if it was a football match and we were winning 50-0, they would still continue just to be arsy about it, you know. Like, if they could squeeze one bit of loosh out of one person, they would do it. That's just how, you know, that's just how psychotic they are. So they're not going to stop. Like, they're still just going to continue. The only thing that stands between them doing what they're doing is us. And it's really, like I say, it's really frustrating to see all these people running towards all these controlled groups, politicians, marches. I mean, again, earlier I was thinking how, like, incredible it is how they've done it. Like, again, I don't like what they've done. I hate what they've done. Obviously, that goes without saying. But when you look at the tapestry, which started with Convid, where I believe that was very much a testing ground for them to see what they could get away with, people's reactions, what worked, what didn't work. Obviously, when people injected themselves, that would have an effect on the number of people. And I think they must have sat in their mansions and talked it over and just plotted and planned. And when I look at what's going in the UK, as I mentioned before, with this kind of like double psyop, I have to take my hat off and say, well, it's actually quite genius that they've concocted a plan like that. And it's all smokes and mirrors. Like, yeah, their tests went well. You look left and they're over there doing something over there. And while we're all arguing about this, they're already building all the infrastructure. That all started during COVID, when they were putting up all the, the 5 what towers, and even today I read an article that in the UK they're introducing digital ID in schools. So everyone's talking about and facial recognition and all of that stuff, biometrics. So everyone's talking about, they're doing this, that, and the other. They're already grooming. They've moved on from us. They're grooming the next generation. It's just insane. It really is. But the way they do it, I mean, all of it, I have to say, it's very clever. Like, not just here, but in the astral with the false light beings, and the way they've convinced us of things. It's very clever how they've done it all. It takes a genius to work it all out, really, which I think at our core we're all an expression of that, really. That's why in the end we do figure all of this out, but we get our fingers burnt. G'day, mate. I got loads of Aussies on here. It's nice. I don't normally get to talk to Aussies, because I normally do these at a time when you guys are all in bed. What's the time? 10:22. I have to get ready to go on my coach journey soon. Frequency war. Yeah, absolutely. It's a frequency war. And that's what I mean. That on a frequency level, when you embody sovereignty, you are sending a different frequency out into the field, which distorts this. It's a glitch in the matrix. That's why on that level, more importantly than anything else, we need to be amplifying that frequency of sovereignty out into the field, out into time and space. This is why what we're all doing as a community here is so important. Like I said it before, like the work that you guys are doing on yourself, it doesn't just affect you, It affects the people around you, and it echoes out into time and space, and it affects everyone because you've taken the time to do the work, to eat those shit sandwiches. Although I'm starting to think that this place is just one big shit sandwich, really. Yeah, amplify, boom. I'm gonna have to check out in a minute because my throat's sore. I never do I never do much talking. This is the most talking I ever do is on these lives. It shows you how little I actually talk in real life. I'm very quiet in real life. I don't, I keep myself to myself. Mostly because I always feel let down when I meet people. There's always like they start like lecturing you on Jesus, or we're swimming in punch in the dumps. Yeah. What's your birth sign? I'm a Scorpio. My chart, my birth chart's very interesting. I've had it read by Ola and Amelie, and they both came out the same. It was like teacher, 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 teacher. And my weakness was also quite spot on as well. Have you been able to talk to Derek Bros of Conscious Resistance based out of Mexico? Yeah, I've heard mixed things about him. And I went to the Jeff Berwick thing, and it was full of shills, New Agers, people telling you to go and take ayahuasca, all that nonsense. And I mean, I knew it was going to be like that, but I wanted to go for my own kind of research. And actually, what was funny was one night towards the end of that, it was like a 3 or 4 day event. And I got chatting to a group of young people, and we were all sitting in the garden at the end of one of the nights. And I started speaking to them about soul trap and entity attachments and loosh and all that stuff. And like for an hour, they were just silent, just listening to me like that. And they were like, at the end, they were like, we've learned more from you in an hour than we have for 3 days here. But some of the people they had speaking, and there was one guy that was talking about this place called Lieberland, right? Where you had to pay a certain amount and you get like residency there. It's like somewhere near Serbia or something like that. And the guy was talking about it, and he explained the rules there, and I'm not joking, guys. He explained a social credit system, right? He was like, yeah, and if you do this, you have like a score, and if you do something bad, then the score goes down, and like everyone's clapping and cheering. I was there with this guy. I'm like, he's talking about a Chinese social credit score here, yeah, off the Croatian coast, and this guy was like, no, he's not. No, you're negative. Everyone, like, they call me negative. Like, if you're discerning, you're negative, aren't you? Right? Because everyone's cheering, yeah, Lieberland. I'm like, no, red flag in my mind, and I thought, F this, I'm going to challenge this guy on this. So I was like, at the end, he said, anyone got any questions, right? So I said, yeah, I've got a question. Stuck my hand up. They gave me the mic. And I'm like, what you've just described there is a Chinese credit score system. And he was like, no, like couldn't like, because I'm very direct, right? And everyone around me is like looking at me, and this guy sitting next to me, he's like sinking into his chair because like he just thinks the whole thing's great. And so this is what I mean. What, like, all these things are controlled, like these big events, these big marches, and it was just crazy to me that I was with like 200 people in that room, and I seemed to be the only one what was being described. And yeah, so that was that. Um, but then, you know, all these marches that going on all around the world on the same day, on a Saturday, when everyone's, you know, all the people that you're supposed to be shouting at, they're not even there. They're in their mansions laughing at you on a march, shouting at a place they're not even there at. And yeah, they have you marching up and down ley lines, so energetically, frequency wise, all that anger and loosh is all being harvested up, yum yum yum, by all these entities, interdimensionals, this AI. And it's just a way of funneling people's anger, making people feel like they're doing something. Because we had one in the UK with immigrants, because everyone was focusing on the immigrants, that because they were let in so they could bring in the digital ID, problem reaction solution. And obviously I was like, what's the march going to achieve anyway? They're like, oh, we need to take our country back. And then so after I was like, did you take the country back? Well, you know, well, what are you doing then? They say, what are you doing? Well, I'm not going on organised. Even if I was in the UK, I would be doing and saying exactly the same things as I'm doing here. I don't need to. We have the internet. We can connect. We don't need to meet up in person. And I certainly wouldn't be going on an organised march with Tommy Robinson. And then to cap things off, Elon Musk showed up on a big teleprompter. Like, the man that wants to stick a chip in your brain is now supposedly on your side. I know. And what the solution is simple. Just say no. Just do the inner work. Connect with your sovereignty and just say no. You don't have to do anything else. Literally. If we all did that, it's game over. Or if enough of us do that, it's game over. We don't need to march up and down ley lines, beg with petition. Like, who are these fuckers that we're begging to anyway? These fuckers are out there eating children, and we're begging to them? Like, you must be joking. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them, because I just want to be left in peace for myself, and I want others to be left in peace. I want to live in a little pueblo. I want to start a little YouTube channel where I'm going around old buildings, filming ghosts. Maybe I'll have a diving channel. I don't want to be talking about all this stuff all the time. I want to live a peaceful, quiet life. I want to eat Mexican food. And that's it. That's all I want. I don't want anything extravagant. I don't want big houses. I don't want big cars. I just want to be left the F alone. And I want everyone else to be left the F alone. And I don't want people starving and rummaging through bins and doing shitty jobs that they don't want to do. Anyway, I should get ready. So anyway, that was a good spontaneous live there, guys. And like I say, really nice to talk to the Australian crowd and that side of the world. Oh, I've swum with sharks. I've dove with bull sharks, hammerheads, whale sharks. On my Instagram, I got all the pictures. Actually, I don't know if I got a shark one. I might put one on. Instagram is tone_sayers, by the way. Yeah, don't forget my Telegram as well. And yeah, if you want to work with me, check out my website, transcendingtimes.org. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Guys, keep smiling. I know it's hard, right? Just keep going. You know, this is all got to be for something, right? So it's got to be. Yeah, I can't walk away though. I'm too invested in all of this. I just, I can't. My soul is restless. Like I think about all of this stuff all the time, and when I have something that I have to say, I have to say it, and I think it will be like that until the day I pass. I think. And I'm all right with that because in a way it gives me purpose and meaning, I guess you could say. And for you guys as well, I would imagine. I couldn't just hang my tinfoil hat up, let's say, and retire and just forget about it. I just couldn't. I mean, well, first of all, they wouldn't let me because they're going to bug me one way or another until the day I pass, right? So it's not like I'm going to be able to escape it on my own. But even if I could, I just couldn't. You know, just seeing the suffering from other people, even just little things. You know, like just today, I went to the coffee shop, and some of these I go in this place pretty much every day, and they're so lovely in there. The Mexican people, like just so sweet. They're like a young crowd that work in there. They probably get shit pay, right? And they're so friendly towards me, right? They're really, and they know me. They know what I order, and they just and I just look at them and I think, oh, it's so like just them doing that like really shitty job. You know, they probably don't want to be there. You know, I think about things like that. Like I do think about the internal battle that people are fighting as well. And I just don't want people to suffer. I don't want people to be poor. I want abundance for everyone. I want freedom for everyone. That's really what I want, and I'm sure that's what you guys want as well. But that's a process that it's not going to be easy because for the reasons that I mentioned before, people don't want to do the internal work, and they want to be lazy, and they want to stay in that mental schism of slavery and hopium and copium. Could you make a video on how we can move to Mexico? You just pack up, book a flight, and you come. That's basically what I did. Well, it's not strictly true. I did, you know, there is a process to get your residency, but you know, it's not perfect here at the moment either. So, you know, there's a lot of this digital stuff going down here. I mean, I know it's the world over, but anyway, guys, look, I'm going to wrap it up. So great to speak to you all. I'll see you soon on the next one. Keep smiling. Keep starving those reptilians. I don't know how I end this. I can't end the stream. How do I end it? Start a poll? No. Start a Q&A? No. What's that button? Showing my age here. You might have me for a few minutes longer. No, I don't want to share. If we suddenly cut off, then you know I figured it out. What have we got here? I'm like I feel like my dad when I'm telling my dad to do something. It must be the cross button up here. I'm scared to press it because I want this to appear on my channel, but I think it's the only button that I haven't pressed. So here goes nothing. Oh yeah. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay, yes. End. All right. Bye, guys.